have arrived almost 7 hours after leaving home. Heading to the campsite. I'm gonna go check in. It's about 4 p.m. So yeah, it's a couple of K off the road on the gravel. But yeah, this is all the Kalbarri National Park. You can see in the back. So the plan is really to explore Kalbarri and I guess the touristy things that people come for. Do a bit of hiking, check out the gorges. Those are the big ticket items, I guess, in Kalbarri. And then I'm also trying to, I suppose, wet a line and get into a few fish. So stick around and something interesting might happen, I guess. That's been there a while. Yeah, this is the drive-in. Campground's full. I think there's about 30 spots or so. So thankfully I've had one booked. But yeah, check it out. So this is the spot. This is what we're working with. Pretty good. There's no other way than to initiate the new barbecue with some snags. Hot dogs, if you like, are on the menu tonight. So simple yet so good. I'm going to finish this, have another beer or two, and probably catch you in the morning for a bit of fishing, I reckon. So see you then. Good morning. That was a shocking night's sleep. Oh, it's tilted on a bank like that, so I was almost rolling down the swag, but I couldn't be bothered getting up and moving it around, but I'll have to do that for tonight. Time for a coffee. Pretty overcast today, which probably isn't a bad thing, considering I'm going to be outside all day. You know the drill. Bacon, sausage, and then I'll whack some eggs on. I've decided there's about a 2.5 hour hike I'm going to do through the gorges. So I'll eat this and then head off and do that before it gets hot. Dinner for tonight is not being sourced, so I'm kind of hoping I catch myself an edible fish. Definitely should have levelled out that barbecue because the eggs have gone. Time check, 6:35. Have a go at that. That pepper got me. Okay, we are off. Leaving the campsite behind. We got like a 30-minute drive. just arrived at the park. Didn't realise you had to pay. I did know it was a national park, but I'd kind of forgotten about that. So I'm just going to get a day pass, which is $15 for a car, which I guess is pretty good. I was kind of hoping I might be under concession as a student, but nah. Cool, day pass. Expires at midnight. Well, hopefully I won't be here for that long. So this is where we're camping, around here, just outside of Kalbarri, about like 15 minutes. And then this is where I've driven to, and that's what we'll be walking. And then I think I'll go and check out the Skywalk, which is this big new platform they've built over a gorge, which looks pretty cool. So there we go. Here she is, the loop. Oof. Right. There's a fair few people here already. I imagine it must get pretty busy here. By the side of the car park. We've arrived. This is what we're going for, the loop trail, 9k, class 4 supposedly, which I think I'll be able to handle. So yeah, as the name suggests, it's just one big loop around, following the river really. And then we pass through at the beginning Nature's Window, which is the sort of famous part where most people just come to take a photo and then leave. So yeah, should be good. I've got the All Trails app downloaded, although I'm pretty sure it's virtually impossible to get lost. I shouldn't say that, but it should be pretty safe. I've seen a few people around the campsite and just here in the car park with the fly nets on over their head, and I thought, that's a bit excessive. Turns out it's definitely not. The flies are absolutely pelting me. I'm about 5 minutes in. There you go. I just swallowed one. Yeah, I think you're just gonna have to kind of turn off with regards to the flies, otherwise they'll drive you mad for 3 hours or whatever it is. Well, I thought that was mainly an issue during the summer or much further north. I didn't really realise they were this bad here. Anyway, I won't think about the flies too much, because check out the scenery. It's pretty spectacular. Yeah, the water just looks so clear. See if we can fit in a little swim maybe. And then, I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but right up there is the Skywalk, which we'll head to later after we finish this. It's just a short drive around, and then obviously you've got a big view of all of this. Yeah, stunning really. Millions and millions of years old, I suppose, which is pretty cool to think. So I believe this is the infamous Nature's Window. We'll see if we get it to ourselves or not. Wow. There it is. is a fascinating structure, really. I'll have to do some research, but I mean, how? How does that happen? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. As soon as that sun comes out, you really feel the heat. I've got a few litres of water though, so I should be fine. It's not too hot. You definitely wouldn't want to be doing this during the summer up here. I can tell you that for free. Whew. Yeah, it's just stunning though. I honestly thought there'd be a lot more people out here too. Maybe it's a little bit early, but I don't know. I'm not complaining though. So peaceful. So we're about a third of the way through. Been going about 50 minutes, 45 maybe. We've just run into the first person, which I've seen the whole time. So yeah, extremely quiet. Although you are, for some reason, told to walk anti-clockwise around the loop. I don't exactly know why, but yeah, you're probably quite unlikely to bump into someone if you're all walking the same way. But I've just come from down the top of the ridge where you get to the river, and I've got to have a swim. I don't think you can be here and not have one. It's already pretty hot, so nice little cool down before I tackle the next half. Little swim done. Wasn't really a swim, just a float more like, but cooled me off. Didn't really think through the drying off process because my feet are absolutely caked in sand. But that's okay, I don't have too far to go really. So definitely worth it. I really do feel like I'm in a western here. Through these gorges. Feels like I should be on horseback, plodding along with a rifle over my shoulder. I guess I'm making my own western really. Not much of a storyline though. Whew. there we go. I kind of have just intersected the route where I started coming from up there, and I went all around here and right the way back. So that's about 2.5 hours, which I guess is pretty quick. I did stop and have a swim, stopped to take a lot of photos. Yeah, I know it's not a race, but I was pretty conscious I didn't have a lot of water, so I didn't want to be out here for too long. Oh, that last bit climbing up was pretty tough, but yeah, absolutely stunning. 10 out of 10. See, I thought there'd be a lot more people on the way back through. I can't believe I had that to myself earlier. Definitely come early if you're going to do it. A, to beat the crowds, but then I suppose more importantly, before it gets too hot. I wouldn't want to start it now at like 10:30, 11. Yeah, to kind of start before 9, even early if you can. Where it all started 2 hours and 40 minutes ago. Oh, keen to get these shoes off. Empty the sand out of them. Oh well, I survived. There was one point I was particularly worried about snakes when this woman walked past me with her gaiters on. The things you put around your legs, which I obviously didn't have. So I would have been pretty screwed if, yeah, I'd have got bitten. But hey ho, that didn't happen, thankfully. Right, I'm gonna go and have some lunch and cool down, I think. You do not want to smell what's coming off me right now. It's not good. I don't think I showed you the car park before, but yeah, it's pretty much full now. And there was only like 10 cars here when I got here. So this is the skywalk, which I forgot about when I was in the car park. It was finished in 2020, so it's actually relatively new, but obviously another massive tourist spot for Kalbarri.
Komm, wir gehen.
Oh, that's looking pretty big, to be honest. Okay, so this place I've come to has got a total ban on fishing, as I've just read on that sign there, so that's out of the question. I'm just doing a little bit more research just to see where we want to go. I kind of binned off the fishing for a little while and went up to the cliffs and we're taking some photos, and there were some whales coming through. There wasn't even any point trying with the GoPro, so I just left it in the car. We may or may not have fish for dinner.
Alright, this is the story. I've got about an hour's worth of fishing before I need to get to the only shop in town, which closes in about an hour and a half. Not a bite, nothing. It's been about 20 minutes. There's quite a few people fishing, which I suppose is encouraging. Well, unless they've got nothing else to do. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that boat. Getting hungry and it's not looking good. This is pretty much like the only sheltered bit of water along the whole coast. Everything else looks like that out there. Who knows, maybe that's where the fish are, I don't know, but I don't think they're here either. Nothing. Alright, we've made it back. Swag has been rotated 90, so I'm not sleeping on a slope. Well, I'm still sleeping on a slope, but the right way. And yeah, it's gonna get dark pretty quick, so better start the old din-dins. Step 1. Une bière. Shout out Rodney's. This is what we got ourselves. Porterhouse steak. Wasn't a whole lot of choice in the shop, which I'm not really surprised considering it was closing in 30 minutes on a Friday evening. So there we go, we're gonna go steak, mushroom and cheese. I also bought some broccoli and asparagus when I was planning on having some fish, and I really need to cook them. Definitely the broccoli. Asparagus will probably last. So yeah. Just go. Bit of salt. It's probably just gonna come straight off. Oh, looking good. Steak is done. This is messy. This is what's happening. Okay. Right, that's looking pretty good actually. I'm quite happy with that. If I close the lid, cheese will hopefully melt. We've reached the desired effect. Oof. That's actually looking pretty good. Yeah, forget that on my left. Don't worry about that. This is what we came for. Alright, we'll go one with a bit of garlic aioli. And one without. See how they compare. Looks pretty good. Could be one of the best steak sandwiches I've made. Flame grilled steak. Melted cheese. Oh, that is perfect. And just look at the place. Sunset. Oh, I am a lucky boy. Pretty happy with that. I'm on the last bite. It's not been easy. It has tasted that good. I've completely forgotten about the broccolini. they'll probably be fine. It might have carried on cooking and be a bit burnt, but I've made the decision that the chickens are gonna get the broccolini tomorrow. I had a little nibble on a piece and it was no good. Bit deflated with the no fish. It was kind of the big thing I was hoping for, although I can't really say I put the hours in. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I've just woken up. Time check, 6 AM, pretty good sleep. Sun's just poking its head up. I've got the coffee on the go. Never gets old. I do wonder how many days I could eat bacon and egg for in the morning. Probably quite a few. Ta-da! Only took an hour and a half. Well, there we go. We've just left the gravel, left the campsite in the station, Murchison House. Yeah, what a stay. Definitely recommend visiting if you're up in Kalbarri. Really nice. So there she is. So we'll head into town now, maybe have 30 minutes or so flicking a lure around, and then head on home. Well, that's the end of that, I'm afraid. Time to head home. I need to get some fuel and then get going. So, no fish in Kalbarri. Who'd have thought it? Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers.